Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen with more information on the Tumbril Ranger, the wheeled bike concept sale that's currently going on until the 10th of June, with a summary of its official Q&A. I've also added some other common questions too and attempted to answer them, as well as put my thoughts on the vehicle in there as well. Why would you want a wheeled bike over a hover bike? Wheeled bikes, like the Ranger, have lower signatures than the Dragonfly, Nox, and X1 due to the lack of thrusters and hover units, and are generally more compact, allowing better access to smaller spaces and transport. There will be environmental hazards as well in the future that restrict the ability to fly in specific areas, which hover bikes may be impacted by too. So it sounds like if you want to keep your signature low, if you want a compact bike, and you want to potentially circumvent some of the restrictions that environmental hazards would have, then the Ranger might be a better choice. Is the cargo vest functional? So the Ranger CV comes with a cargo vest. Eventually players will have a local inventory and clothing items, and they'll be able to modify their capacities using these items and pockets or whatever. Items like the cargo vest will most likely end up increasing the player's local inventory capacity. What can transport the Ranger? What ships can it be taken in? The Ranger bike is currently the smallest inverse player-owned vehicle planned. As such, it can fit into a huge variety of ships, even the Argo MPUV. While the lists of ships it could fit in is huge, the general rule of thumb is if it can fit a Grey Cat buggy, then it can fit a Ranger easily. That does mean that the Avenger Titan should be able to fit a Ranger. It is currently unconfirmed whether you can fit it in the 300 eyes cargo bay by turning it on its side or whatever. I'll have to get back to you on that one. Are we going to be able to do wheelies on our bikes? They are planning for wheeled bikes to behave like actual bikes where possible, not just like a quad bike or a fake bike, not just like a Tumbril Cyclone. They are not planning on excluding wheelies from the behaviours that they foresee, so probably for wheelies. How much can the Ranger CV actually carry in real terms? The Ranger CV incorrectly lists its carrying capacity as 1.2 SCU. It's actually 0.375 SCU divided into three 1.25 areas. These can each carry a typical mission box or a standard carryable box as of 3.5. The Tumbril Cyclone CV can carry 1 SCU of cargo or 8 of those boxes. The incorrect 1.2 SCU amount was due to a power plant increasing in size during production and the cargo not being updated to reflect that. Will we be able to use a pistol or weapon while riding on a Ranger? They will evaluate this once the ability to use FPS weapons in vehicle seats comes online, which is currently planned for Alpha 3.9 in Q1 of 2020 with seated item handling. The second seat on the Dragonfly uses that tech as well, obviously. However, unlike the Dragonfly, riding and shooting requires a lot more animation overhead, as you need to single-handedly keep control of the bike. Because of this, they don't want to commit one way or another at this point to being able to fire a pistol while you're also riding a Ranger. I don't expect that you will be able to, because I suspect there's too much going on there, but it's interesting to see what they do decide in the future. Will we be able to right the bike if it gets stuck or falls over? Yes, there will be interactions to put the bike back on its wheels, and this will mirror the self-righting functionality of graveler vehicles. What fuel and power systems do bike use? All Ranger bikes use a vehicle-sized power plant that consumes fuel as their primary method of generating power to propel the wheels. A second power plant in the RC model provides additional power, and with any vehicle, a battery can also be used to provide an alternative time-limited power source with lower signature emissions. Can we move the Ranger CV cargo rack to the other bikes? No, the cargo, sort of like pannier, I think it's called, or whatever, the rack, can only be used on the CV. How fast can bikes go? They are planning their top speeds to be faster than that of the wheeled vehicles that we currently have in game, the Tumbril Cyclones. Those Tumbril Cyclones, they are around 45 meters a second, but they don't want the Rangers to be as fast as Graveler vehicles, which are currently around 60 meters per second. I'm expecting, based on that, probably around 55. They will also accelerate better on appropriate surfaces than other wheeled vehicles, so not as fast as hover vehicles, but they're going to have other advantages and disadvantages compared to them as well. Are the Ranger TR's weapons gimbaled, and how many size ones does it have? The Ranger's weapons have a bespoke mount that will allow limited gimbal adjustment. This should allow it to aim and hit targets without having to drive straight at them. The TR also comes with 2 size 1 weapon mounts like this, one on each side of the bike. How does the Ranger steer, and how sharply can it turn? There is currently approximately a plus and minus 15 degree of steering angle within the forks. However, they're going to revisit that when the vehicle is in production if it becomes apparent that that's too little. So they will develop it more going through, obviously, concept all the way to production, then in game, and I suspect that it will get a good amount of balance before it's finally classified as done. Will different gravities affect the amount of traction the bike has, or will it be simulated by grippy tyres? All the current wheeled vehicles, including the Ranger's traction, will be affected by gravity. However, Tumbril vehicles have unique wheel design that, while not currently functional in-game, will be able to be deployed to improve grip. This very much sounds like Mass Effect and the grippy wheels of the little rover there. There were various other questions from the official Ranger Q&A thread that I have attempted to answer here with the information that's available. The Ranger War Bond is suitable as a lifetime insurance token and should allow you to upgrade to appropriate ships during sales, and then obviously get lifetime insurance on that sale or that ship that you upgrade to. The additional fuel capacity that the CV has will significantly increase its range. So the CV has twice the fuel capacity of the others. The RC has an additional battery compared to the others, so 2 batteries, and this should give it additional range as well. But when you're using a battery, it's going to have lower signatures over using fuel. It sounds like there are plans that they're sticking to have fuel as a resource that's not just boost fuel and quantum fuel, and as such, the bikes don't have fuel intakes. Also, there appears to be plans for batteries to be used as alternative sources of fuel, but they are limited in charge, especially at that sort of size, the vehicle size. All the components for the vehicle are vehicle-sized components, other than the size 1 weapons. We should be able to change some of the components in the bikes, like power plants, but each of the bike's hulls are unique, so you can't move the size 1 weapon mounts from the TR to the CV or the RC. And it's the same with the CV's cargo area, and assumedly the RC has an extra battery slot. Procedural roads are in the backlog as well. They had an early road tool for making roads, which didn't get used much and isn't working with their current tech. It sort of like got broke along the way, and they haven't got anything specifically planned for roads in the next 3 months or so, at least. It may appear in Planetary Tools version 4 that they're working on. They are trying to get a lot more broader work done, getting the major biomes and planets and city generation all worked out first before they move on to things like roads, but they are going to be doing them. The Rangers aren't planned to have any shields of any kind. There was a couple of questions. Can you wear the cargo vest that comes with the CV, or you can potentially buy in game later, over armor? Now, as far as I understand it, armor is typically worn over clothing, and clothing is not worn over armor. With physical local inventories planned for Alpha 3.7 Q3 of 2019, we won't have magic bags of holding anymore. You'll have to carry things around with you in your pockets, in backpacks, whatever. There might be items that allow you to take more items, like backpacks or whatever. So there might be backpacks in the game. There might be attachment points for you to put items around and cargo containers effectively on you. But if the cargo vest is a piece of clothing, it's unlikely that you can have its functionality and wear it over armor, if you see what I mean. I really like the Tumbril Ranger, especially the CV cargo version. I think it's going to be a great mission running bike. And I really like the idea of budget mission running in a ship like the Avenger Titan and a Tumbril Ranger CV working together for delivery and ground mission running. I think that's a great pairing, very cheap. I'm going to start a thread or message CIG about fuel plans and fuel uses, as I think CIG should more definitely elaborate exactly what plans for fuel are at this stage, as well as quantum, boost, fuel scoops, limited ranges of vehicles. Will vehicles be entirely sort of like be able to run out of fuel and then just be, well, I'll have to recover it later? Is this the plan for ships as well if they can't scoop enough fuel with their fuel intakes? That sort of thing. So I just want to know the current plans for that moving forward, though I expect we will know more closer to Alpha 3.7 with the planned addition of refueling fuel scooping as a feature, so I suspect they'll explain a little bit more there, but I'll still start a thread. If I have, or when I do, I will link it in the comments down below. I do expect that these Ranger bikes will be incredibly cheap Alpha UEC and UEC wise in-game, and incredibly common, so only buy them if you want to buy them during the concept sale to support game development as a lifetime insurance token, or because you love the vehicle and you're like, I must have it, is my recommendation anyway. We have no time for it being in game yet, any of those bikes, but it's a simple design, very small, and the Tumbril manufacturer have a defined pipeline with a similar wheeled vehicle, so it might be reasonably quick. I would not expect it in 2019 though. If you have any other questions about the Tumbril Ranger, then please chuck them in the comments below. Are you planning to buy one in the concept sale? Have you already bought one? Are you planning to just get this sort of stuff in-game? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you. Every month we have a ship giveaway on the channel for May 2019. It's for another Drake Corsair exploration ship, donated in the name of the People's Radio. They are a 24/7 radio station providing music in the Verse News and in Law commercials, and are operated by the People's Alliance of Levski. To be in for a chance of winning that ship, be subscribed to my YouTube channel and comment on any of my videos made during the month. Links to the People's Radio and more information on the giveaway in the description below. If you are looking for a gaming PC or to upgrade, then instead consider Shadow Cloud gaming PCs, which leverage your internet connection and a data center to turn any device, your old PC, a phone, a tablet, a laptop, whatever, into a powerful Windows 10 gaming environment. It's subscription based, so won't break the bank, and is a fantastic alternative to buying your own PC. If you are looking for a VPN, then I use NordVPN as well. It's mega cheap, allows me to upload, play games, browse with more security and privacy than I would otherwise have. For both of those, links are below, and use the code BoredGamer to receive a discount on either. BoredGamer is supported by its community via Patreon, the YouTube join button, Subscribestar, Twitch, direct donations, people throwing ships at me. A massive thank you to everyone that goes the extra mile to support me. It genuinely does help. Just like everything else, links are below for people that would like to get involved with that as well. But if you want to give feedback, there are details there that you can get onto my Discord, discord.gg/BoredGamer, or contact@boredgamer.co.uk if you want to send me an email. Just get in contact, give me feedback. Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you.